Thanks for joining into the SEN show on the Schmoedown Entertainment Network, produced in partnership with Skybound Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't turn my ring light in time, but I think the credits are still rolling. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the final show on YouTube.
What?
Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Friday. Welcome to the House of Gucci and only House of Gucci show. This is all we're going to be talking about today. Sabrina, how are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. I'm always happy to talk about Lady Gaga and Adam Driver in absolutely anything. So, as a past monster, huge Lady Gaga stan, this is a celebratory day for me.
Oh yeah, that's what she calls her fans, right?
The little monsters.
Little monsters, and she's mom. Yeah, I forgot
Pause
about
up,
that.
baby.
What? That's what you guys say?
That was like a thing back in the day.
Oh,
Let me see it again.
no.
Let me see it. Let me see.
Pause up
Pause
or
up.
claws up?
Oh my god.
I think it's pause, if I remember correctly.
Pause up.
Pause up, baby. The little monsters.
Oh,
That's actually my nickname for all of you guys today. We're all the little monsters here.
gotcha.
Yeah.
My mother's nickname for me too, and I don't think she likes it.
Brett, good morning. How you doing?
I'm all right. Just going into the weekend like, woo, I'm working at the gallery tomorrow. So yeah, no weekend for me.
I mean, what are weekends anyways? Like
Right?
living in LA, I don't think I had an actual weekend on the weekend, so it happens.
And I can't believe it. My kids are starting school in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Now they'll have something to do. Because I've not been good at getting them anywhere. So.
Nah, they're old enough to where you don't have to constantly keep them entertained. Yeah, just go out, go do something. I
Yeah,
don't know
sitting
what
in
it
your
is.
room for 14 hours and on the screen. That's like good parenting, right? I mean,
Right?
come on,
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely. They're gonna do that anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
you don't need to tell them to do that. Drew, how you doing?
My stomach hurts. No, I'm good. But I mean they're both true things. I don't know. My tummy's hurt all week, but I'm on antibiotics, so it should be okay. But it hurts. But otherwise, so if I have to run at any point during this thing, that's why. It's because I have bad tummy. But other than that, good. I'm excited. We got a big exciting thing in Schmoedown happening this weekend. I'm having a couple people over to watch that. There's gonna be some fun things going on. So
Nice.
my
Are you
tummy
guys
better
gonna
get
go
in
to the
shape.
taping? Because we're on LA. Are you guys gonna head over to the Scum and Villainy?
So I wasn't sure if I was invited. Are we invited to that?
I
If we're
don't
not
know, because I didn't get the call either to work. Because I don't know, it was awkward.
So none of us
But-
were invited. Wow.
None of
No.
us were invited.
Eric was invited, but I wasn't.
Oof. Yeah, we're just gonna sit here in awkwardness now.
Yeah.
So.
He said he'll ask Kristian, and I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I wanted to stop by at least for a few hours, but I do have 2 shows that day. But just to, I like going to studio tapings. They're fun. But guys, sit in your Schmobots, sit in your Streamlabs. Yeah, Alex here too. Go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Exactly.
I'm feeling like a firecracker today.
Firecracker.
Firecracker.
More, Alex. More roll of the tongue.
Or
You're like Al
More
Pacino in that trailer. I
roll of the
barely
tongue.
recognized you.
Okay, so we'll start with that. Guys, send in your Streamlabs, send in your Schmob. It's our last day on YouTube. We will be heading over to Twitch on Monday. I'm super, super excited about it. But Alex, give us the rundown of the greatest trailer to ever hit our YouTubes.
well, yeah, it came out yesterday for the trailer for House of Gucci is what I'm talking about. It's directed by Ridley Scott and stars Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, Jared Leto, Al Pacino, Salma Hayek, and Jeremy Irons, and it's coming out on November 24. Ben, what'd you think of the trailer? Do you like it?
It was
Did you like it?
Ridley Scott is the hardest working man in Hollywood. I want to start off with the positive.
Ridley
The
Scott.
man just churns out fucking movies. Good, bad, doesn't matter. He's making movies. He's getting big stars.
He has
all
2
the-
this year.
It's crazy. How old is he's got to be
like
80.
He's
84.
90, 83.
No,
83.
he's not.
He's
Okay.
83.
1 year
Man
off.
is a
Wow.
fucking workaholic. So fucking respect. We stan. But this movie looks like trash. It looks so bad. It looks so bad, and I can't wait. And when I say trash, I mean I cannot wait. This deserves like a rowdy room / cats / this.
Inappropriate
we are
bisexual
gonna get a
dude
big
donated
group together.
$20.
Yeah.
Final
Thank
show
you
on
so much.
YouTube. Wow. Had to donate to
Wow.
you loveless today. Really looking forward to the Twitch switch.
Switch. Yes.
Switch.
Ah, Twitch.
Hashtag
on Twitch.
Twitch.
Wait.
Who sent that in,
why-
Alex?
That was-
Wow,
Oh.
what a fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Your
Is
mic
that
cut
an
out.
underscore or is that did you just do the impression?
I thought you got
Background.
censored in real time.
Right?
That was
Wow.
inappropriate bisexual, dude.
Okay. But no, this is definitely a movie where we need to rent a private screening because things are getting bad out there. We need to get a private screening. We need to all just get fucked up and go watch this movie. And we all have to go like in like crazy attire. We all have to talk like this while we're watching the House of Gucci and just roll R's that aren't there. And so I'm really excited for that. But like in a vacuum, this movie looks very bad. Drew, you seem like you were super into it.
Hell yeah. No, I can do
We
that
need
episode.
context.
Well,
Jack,
Drew, you've
for that,
always been a
Drew.
bit of a firecracker.
I was so confused. I was like, wait, did Ryan Murphy make another American Crime Story? Because that's what this
Yes.
looks like. And like, I'm not even saying that's good or bad because I thought like the Versace one was pretty good. I was like, I watched the trailer and I was like, I wasn't sure that like Gucci got murdered or was murdered by like his family. I'm not sure what the story here is. But that being said, I didn't know it was trash. I actually thought it was really good. I thought the one thing that could have been improved was me just going, ooh, like during the parts that was missing it in that Heart of Glass song. Like it was like there were just some parts that cut out, and like your instinct was just to be like, I love mic drops in trailers. It's my favorite. I'm so trash that way that I'm like, ooh, is it the regular song but like slowed down and played in minor key on cello? I
Yeah.
love it.
With like the kids choir, like
Yeah, exactly. all
no one knows the
Westworld,
lyrics to those fucking
West-
songs.
Just the Westworld season 1. Just give me all those needle drops. I call them
Absolutely.
mic drops, but yeah.
I'd like a hoe.
Yeah.
No,
Black
it's,
as your
I
soul.
wish it was like a dark, like ethereal, material girl. Because we are living in a material world.
If
Yeah,
you want to recut the trailer, I'll send them a video of me singing that on the ukulele, and they could put that on very slow and
Yes.
soft.
Fuck yes. Sabrina, are you excited about this?
She's so excited.
I mean, I am because it's giving me camp. It's giving me fun. I thought I had the same exact idea where I'm like, okay, Ryan Murphy's worked with Lady Gaga before. I completely forgot this was a Ridley Scott film for so long because even from like the wigs, the makeup, the fashion, it just seems that like this is something Ryan Murphy would make and then drop on Netflix because he has those crazy Netflix deals. But
Yeah.
overall, I mean, I'm having fun with this trailer. I love that the focus was really, really on Lady Gaga because I'm familiar with the story, but obviously we have people like Adam Driver and other like heavy hitters in this. So I love that the trailer really gave her a lot of time to shine. And honestly, I thought she looked fantastic. I thought
What
her
happened?
performance that we saw was good.
What happened with Gucci? I mean, first of all, she was the best part of American Horror Story Hotel. I've never seen
Yes.
Stars Born, but she's the best part of Hotel. Revived that whole American Horror Story brand. But what happened with the House of Gucci? Like, what was the crime?
So there was Adam Driver and Lady Gaga. No spoilers. This is a real thing that
Spoilers!
happened.
It's
real
just
life.
history.
Yeah.
Basically they got married, they got divorced. There was a ton of stuff swept up, and I don't even know if this is like definitively solved or not. I think it might be, but it had something to do with like their divorce and basically like the Gucci empire, which we could kind of tell from like the language and how Lady Gaga's talking about it. You know, like she's just like, your name's in the history books, you're this. Like it's, you could see that this is something that she wants to be a part of. And I find that to be so fascinating. And also her and Adam Driver together. I never thought that would be a couple that I would see. And I
Oh, yeah,
believe
I
it
feel
100%. Like I believe this like sexy, sultry, like toxic relationship from the two of them. Give me all that.
And I also
But
believe
yes,
they're both
Adam
like
Driver's character gets married or gets murdered.
yeah, this, Wait, someone
Yeah.
get murdered? Is that what you just said? Did someone get murdered? Is that
Is
the
Adam
premise?
Driver's character, remember?
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to know if it was a crime
Gucci, I
here,
believe
if
his
it's
name
just a
is.
Yeah.
It's just a straightforward narrative. I thought it was going to be the Fredo of the family. Joker 2.0 was going to get murdered because I guess we're all just like really impressed that Jared Leto put some more stuff on his face, and like
Why
called
do
it
they
acting.
do that?
I
Like,
have to
why?
say, I think that they picked a wrong penguin. I think
Yes.
Jared Leto, that's a penguin right
But he's
there.
already the Joker. He's
Sorry,
already.
Colin Farrell. You got a new penguin in town.
It's
I
like,
gotta
is
agree
he
with you
the
there.
Joker? They've spent like the past 2 years trying to bury it, and then Zack
Yeah.
Snyder was like, "Let me bring him back."
Yeah.
We're like,
But you know what? That was
and
the
have
worst
have him
Joker.
give Batman a reach around.
I thought that
Au
his
contraire,
portrayal-
my little fish stick.
I liked it. I liked it. I liked this just the Snyder cut Joker at the end. I was like, oh, cool. This has got a makeover. He's glued up. he glowed up or whatever. Like he looks better. That's an
Look, in the
improvement.
post-apocalypse, he's still wearing a straitjacket, cause aesthetic,
But
baby.
he got that tattoo removed from his forehead, and that's cool. Like he found a tattoo removal place.
He's
and
no
that's,
longer damaged.
he's
No
still-
longer damaged.
Yeah,
Therapy,
my
man.
that's
two
character
Good thing. Go
development
get
right
therapy,
there.
guys. Brett, are you
I mean, like-
excited for this? Like, when will you see this movie? Because we're all gonna go get drunk and see it in the theaters and be
And you're not
rowdy.
right.
And
If you rent one out, I'd be down for that. I'm not. If it's all of you, I trust you. I'd be down for going. This sounds like a fun thing. Maybe we get dressed up in 70s outfits. I've got
Yes.
some butterfly collars I could throw on. I'd be down for that. Would get me to the theater. An
walking
event
up
like
the
that.
AMC steps, just fucking owning. Like, we'd all need to show up at the same time and
Yep.
just take over the AMC Burbank, and then
Yes,
just like
we
not
roll down a
say
tiny red
anything
carpet
to
strip.
anybody, and just walk straight into the theater and like
Oh.
no explanation for anyone.
It's
We
like
do what I
we're
did for
walking the Met
Cruella.
Gala. Like we're all
Yes,
just showing
yeah.
off our fits.
Yes.
We hire a photographer. We hire a couple people to
Yes.
take video, and we're just doing B-roll outside, talking in really bad accents.
Yeah.
And it's unclear what they're there for. And then we rented out a theater.
Exactly.
It's not even to see House of Gucci. We want it for like Crude's the New Age. We're just gonna put that
It's
on.
Paw Patrol.
Hey,
And-
I will defend Crudes. Crudes and Trudes 2, A New Age, underrated classics.
Oh, God.
Underrated classics. And
I-
they've also got as many Oscar winners in Crudes as they do in House of Gucci.
Wow.
Wow. Alex, are you excited about this one?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it does look ridiculous. I don't know how to feel about this. I just don't know it doesn't make it clear what the hell it's about. It's just a bunch of people looking nice, and it's not colorful to me. It's like I feel like this should be more lavish. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
like this feels very he did all the money in the world, right?
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
like I don't know what it is about him making dreary movies about rich families. Like it seems like that's like what
Ooh.
Ridley Scott's super into right now.
Prometheus.
Because underneath
Seems
all the
so-
glam, they're dreary. Don't you get it?
Jared Leto was written for Kevin Spacey, and they were just like, "Oh, this time we have a little bit extra time for the rewrite."
It seems like it, honestly. It
Yeah,
seems like he's
maybe.
just like that out of place.
Yeah.
Also,
maybe.
it's supposed to take place in '95, and I'm looking at the years. Yeah, I'm looking at the years that
95?
some of these people like were alive, because that's when Maurizio Gucci was murdered, and like they died in 83, 90, in 1990. So I was like, what are you doing? Why are you
yeah.
putting
Yeah,
a
Well,
this
history
whole-
like that?
It starts in like the 70s. It definitely doesn't start in the 90s. Like we're seeing like 80s.
Yeah, because we're
outfits.
seeing their marriage, their divorce, the murder.
true.
There's like a whole timeline, so it probably takes I don't know how long, but at least like a decade or so. I don't know,
And
unless
also,
they
like,
were
I
pulled like a
apologize.
Kim K.
There's based
got
on a
married for,
true
like, month.
story, and then there's inspired by a true story.
Mm.
And when you say inspired by a true story, there is so much wiggle room and freedom to just
Yeah.
write bullshit. Like so,
Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It was inspired by a true story.
Oh my god.
exactly. And I heard that like, weren't you the one tweeting it that they like the Warrens actually ruined the case or something like that, Drew? Weren't
Yeah,
you the one
well,
tweeting
you don't
about
want to
that?
get me in on this, but like the whole thing about the guys, the funniest part, I'm not going to spoil it, but the end of The Devil Made Me Do It, okay, I'll spoil it, is at the end, the postscript is supposed to be this uplifting music, and the guy's like, oh, I got exercise with the demon, and then it's like, the man was convicted of manslaughter.
Ooh.
It was like, yeah, because saying the devil made you do it is not like a valid court argument. And again, no offense with the spoilers, but if that had happened and the devil made me do it was a valid legal argument, we would know about it by now. It's not like a nail biter about whether that's going to be a valid defense.
the worst part about that is because they are tackling a true story that involved a real murder, and they have Arnie look
He's
like
doing
this
crack.
like super wholesome, amazing guy. He has absolutely no flaws. He's constantly doing sweet things for everybody. But
Oh,
if you
yeah.
look at the true story, nobody's perfect. So they were like, yeah, this guy had anger issues sometimes, or this guy did this at work, or this guy did this.
This guy
And in the
murdered
movie,
somebody.
he's a fucking angel in the
And now
Well,
movie.
that's what I was saying. Like we were here last week talking about fucking Ted Bundy being played by like Zac Efron and every
Yeah.
other good-looking stud in Hollywood, while he butchers 30 women that we know about. Fuck that
Yeah,
shit, dude. Like I'm not about like I'm not a true crime guy. Like I don't get like the weird obsession we have with it in this country. It's like,
Well,
oh, it's fucked up.
as we talk about the House of Gucci trailer,
Yes.
I think the difference is like the thing is about the Bundy thing was Bundy was supposed to be attractive, and that was sort of the rub of
Yeah.
it, and that was sort of what was creepy about him, was that he portrayed himself as this family man. He was like desired by women, so it's like, why couldn't you just get a woman, dude? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, but with something like the Devil Made Me Do It, it's so weird. Because the true story is the Warrens just rolled up on this like obvious manslaughter thing where a guy got drunk and killed the dude who was trying to molest his girlfriend. So it was like an act of self-defense, and he just ended up killing the dude while drunk. So it's like, okay, the Warrens were like, no, the devil possessed this dude. And meanwhile, he was like, I don't think so. And the judge was like, immediately heard that and was like, that's not a valid argument. So like, you either plead guilty or not guilty, but like, you can't say the devil made me do it. And so the Warrens were like, okay, that's noted. And they just went outside the court and like launched this whole three-ring circus about the devil being involved in it, and like totally capitalized on this actually grief-stricken family who later sued them.
Yeah.
Like not the main guy, but this like the other family that's in the beginning. I mean, they were awful
Jesus.
people. And to like then create a whole world, like this extended universe of like the goodness of the Warrens is so beyond. I don't even mind the Conjuring movies, the first two, like whatever, it doesn't hurt anyone. This one like actively hurts like a family.
Yeah.
Who's like, you know, childhood, like one of the kids was like, had their childhood was ruined because the Warrens essentially doxed him by saying that
David
he like had the
Glatzel,
devil.
and he
Yeah.
spoke about it for so long, and he spoke out against this film. And it's so weird because like I interviewed the director and I went to the editing bay, and he talked about how he brought some of the real family on the set, but not the Glatzel family, but like Arnie's wife and Arnie and different things like that. And it's just so weird. And they're like reliving out this exorcism. I don't know.
Yeah.
That
Weird to
one
have a
just
convicted
went
murderer
so many
on your
different
set.
directions.
It's weird to have a
Yeah.
convicted murderer on your junket. Like that's
I'm
weird.
just gonna use that as an excuse for literally everything. Like, oh, I was a jerk to you. The devil made me do it. I was actually possessed. Then I never have to take.
I mean,
like, hold
you
myself
already do that
accountable
with
for
like your
anything.
astrology and stuff like that. It's basically the same thing.
I'm like, it's not my fault. I'm a
Mercury in
Virgo.
retrograde is basically the devil.
I was born under the sign I was born under. I'm a Virgo. Okay.
It was look. I just worship Pyman, and all I'm saying is he made me do
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that was like such a good trailer line spoken by Patrick Wilson. It's like every day in court we swear under the name of God. It's about time we recognize the devil. I was like, that's a
How about
good
neither?
Yeah. But
Like-
can you imagine the judge looking at that and being like, "Yeah, that's not a thing," and then
That's-
immediately throwing the case out, and that's the movie.
line. Denied. Okay. Anyways, bye.
Tucson donated
We will see ourselves
$20.
out. Thank you for your
Excited
time.
for the transition to Twitch real soon. Also well wishes for a full and speedy recovery to our fabulous Jen Sturger, who contracted COVID-19 despite being vaccinated due to being immunocompromised. Get vaccinated and follow the mask mandates.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
I definitely think it's worse because she's immune compromised. I don't think that had to do with how she contracted it. She contracted it from somebody who is asymptomatic and also vaccinated, who contracted it from their like college kid. Like, it is crazy. They're now saying the Delta variant is spread just as easily among vaccinated people as unvaccinated people. Like the CDC said that now. Like, it's just like it's so terrible. So everyone needs to go get vaccinated so you can get less sick from it and like mask
Yeah.
the heck up. You know?
Yeah.
I know it's annoying, but
It's
do it.
very annoying. And what was it, like Pfizer was saying, like you might have to take like a third shot, like or something like
yeah,
that.
You might always have had to
Get a
take a
booster.
booster shot. Yeah.
I'll
But,
take.
yeah.
Sign me the fuck up right now.
Give me
Arms
10,
ready.
bruh. I'm
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking stick it in every
Pump that in my
What?
veins.
Right? Where's my rubber band? Just
Yeah.
Now, Sabrina, you had
Oh
a
my
tweet
God.
yesterday that was like pretty much like, or I think it was yesterday that was like, I'm not ready. Like, my mental health is not ready to go back under lockdown again. And Eric
Yeah.
looked at me and he was like, do you want to be the one to tell her that like you were kind of not ready for the world to open up again? And I was like, no, I'll just keep that. to
Well, I was
myself."
in the same place. It's this weird mixture of like at the time we went through like 6 months of having to adjust to being inside. And then I remember when people started inviting me out to stuff, I would like take 3 hours to get ready. And I'm
Yes.
like, I don't even know what clothes are. Like, what is this combination right now? I've been wearing like the same 4 outfits because I haven't even looked at the rest of my closet.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird and it doesn't make any sense, but I don't want to be like fully isolated again. Obviously, if it's for the health and safety of others, 100%. I just wish we could prevent getting to that point. So that way I'm not stuck literally in the same place that I've been for months with seeing people maybe like twice a week or something or once a week.
No, it's definitely tough. And I mean, like, we're very lucky to be on this show and, you know, to be making some kind of money, like, you know, talking with you guys, talking about movies, talking with friends. But then like when you're like so up and social and like you have to get up for these shows and like, oh, we have to be energized and stuff like that. And then, you know, I go stream for a few hours. Drew, you have a million shows. Sabrina, you have shows. Alex, you're making music. Brett, you have fucking kids that you have to be up and like have energy for. And then on top of that, you're expected to be like, oh, now I get to go see friends and be social outside. It's like, God damn. Like, I went and saw a movie last week and like someone was like, oh, you should have invited me. I'm like, I would have, but I just wanted to sit and not fucking talk to anybody for 2 hours while I stared at a giant screen instead of, you know, my medium-sized screen or my tiny screen. Like, it's like such a, it's like, damn.
There's levels to this shit. There's the tiny screen, medium screen, and then my TV.
Yes, very much so.
I saw sorry, I disappeared for a second like a ghost. I had a couple obligations this week that I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to get a vet appointment, not for me, but for one of the doggies. Let me turn off the background so you can see them. I was also supposed to have a doctor appointment, which is like a vet appointment, but for Drew. I made neither of those appointments. Like I went to neither of them. I had like 2 temper tantrums about leaving the house to go do other things. Like I was very much like, oh no, am I like reverting to being 5 years old because I don't want to leave the house because now I have some weird like hang up about leaving the house even more so than I did before. Like it's not great.
Yeah. Well, I ended up having food poisoning.
Oh.
And I thought I had COVID for a second. I ate bad chicken. I didn't know it was bad. It was like a day old, whatever. But I ended up having food poisoning like all day Wednesday because of it, because I ate it Tuesday morning. And for a second, I was scared that I got sick. And I'm like, yo, I've interacted with so many people. That's another thing, is like the guilt of if I ever got somebody else sick, like I would feel so horrible.
For sure. Yeah. Brett, how are you doing with like social stuff? Have you and the family done anything at all, or are you guys still staying bottled up?
The kids won't. We were doing the bowling thing, which again, what a weird thing for me to immediately dive into. But again, you know, it was like, okay, let's see, we're on our lane and whatever. And now the kids don't want to go because they don't want to have to wear masks while they're there. Which I'm like, I get it, but can we at least do it because it was our only thing? But then I also don't want to. I have to mask up at my Axe League now. And I realized I was not anti-mask. I just avoided all mask-related things. And wearing a mask for 4 hours, it is a pain in the ass. I'm doing it. It doesn't, you know, I'm still enjoying doing that thing. But it also, then when I see something, I'm like, but you're double masked. Should I be double masked? Maybe I'll triple mask. If you're double, then I'm gonna triple. So then my mind just. So yeah, it's been weird. I'm trying not to get. It was just starting to peek out of the bomb shelter. Yeah. And then things kind of started going again. And I don't know. I wish somebody could just snap their fingers and everything would be normal, because I got a kid that's going to be finishing her last year of grade school before going into middle school, and my son's starting high school. And just to go on a little quick tangent, what if he goes through his first year of high school and then he doesn't have masks the next year and he doesn't know what half the people's faces look like?
Yeah. What if he has his first kiss and he never even saw the bottom of his face just through his mask?
Have you had this where you've seen somebody that you've only seen in a mask and they take the mask on and you're like, what the fuck? Your face is wrong. Yeah. I put that together completely different.
Dude, that was the funny thing when I got hired at... When I got hired at that bar for the month, like I had my mustache. And so like, you know, I would take my mask off like to take a drink of water so people saw my face. But I'm like, I wonder what all these coworkers think, that I just always have a mustache or something. And then I went in there like afterwards, like where they shaved, like, I didn't recognize you. I was like, I know. I usually don't have a mustache, but you guys just knew it for the 1 month that I did.
Yeah, it's horrible because I want to be like, well, like I wish COVID was just a thing where it's like only if you haven't been vaccinated will it affect you anymore. So like they can Darwin themselves out if they so choose. Like you can opt out of being a part of this world right now. Like you can, you can walk around without a mask and it will only hurt you. But unfortunately, it doesn't. It hurts people like Jen who's immune compromised, and it's having these breakthrough things, and like not everyone can get the vaccines. Like I have a friend who's like allergic to one of the things that's in 2 of the vaccines, and the other thing that's in the 3rd one is like got something else in it, and she's very like she has a really bad like she has to keep a EpiPen on her at all times, so she was like hoping for the herd immunity thing and just not going out, and it's like no, can't do that now. Like that's, and they not to get all science about it, but like the viral loads of these things, that's what she said, are like 1,000 times stronger than like they were last year. They were like have a 1,000 times higher rate, like or like cells inside of you. That's so horrifying. Like it was killing us so fast last year. Now they're 1,000 times stronger. Like what is that? What is that? Like you cut me down and I'll come back 1,000 times stronger. Are they sentient? Like it's so scary.
Is this Hydra?
Yeah, is this exactly? Is this Hydra?
Jeez, it's like evil Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Alex,
Oh yeah.
how are you
That's
doing?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit scared because I'm still living with my parents, and I don't know, like they don't go out as much as I have in the last month and 2 months now. I even went to Pittsburgh and Austin. I went on a little mini vacation, and there was like no mask regulations over there, or barely any, if any. And so like I'm still scared of giving it to my parents somehow, and I'm still safe. Like yesterday.
What is up with your mic? I feel like ever since you played your guitar, it's fucked up now.
I think ever since I got this new mic, it's been doing that, but I don't know what happened.
Gotcha. Well, continue your story. You just cut out for a second.
Okay, yeah, I just don't want to give my parents it, and yesterday I even went to I went to see In the Heights one last time before it left theaters, and like
I didn't do that.
Yeah, and I still wore a mask like through the whole thing. Today I'm seeing a movie, and I'm wearing my mask throughout the whole thing. Only putting it down for the few sips of water I have. I'm trying to be safe. I know I have been out a few times this past week, and like even that was a little rough for me still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like after I definitely have like a tested appointment after that party we went to, because that was in a small apartment with like 20 people, and I was like, I don't know any of you, but I'm gonna get
that party. Was this
I'm
a different
gonna get
party?
very drunk.
No, we were like, was this the one I was at? And then I quickly realized it wasn't, so it sounded really awkward because I wasn't at whatever that party was. But I was over. No big deal. I was over at Paul Preston's house to watch Star Wars like on Wednesday. Yeah, so like I was there, and like Brendan and Chandru and a bunch of people, JT were there, and we weren't wearing masks, and like I was like, this is all good, that's fine. But like earlier in the week, I went to go see Old, and I had my mask off for most of the movie, and then in the middle of it, someone just started coughing like manically. And I was just like, oh, God, no, we're still living in the end of times. Also, that movie was weirdly anti-science. I'm not going to get any more into it, but like,
sitting next to a stranger during Black Widow, I was like, oh no, I don't like this. Like I didn't move. I had my mask on the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like luckily I didn't have like a drink or anything like that, because I would have been like, well, just wasted money on this drink because I'm not going to move my mask.
Well,
like
upshot is, Sabrina, we can start our idea that we had. Hopefully they'll go back to renting like theaters out for $99, and we can do what we did. We all pitch in like $10 and go every week to see a movie. We had
Stuff like that. I would feel so much more comfortable with people I trust versus like a full pack theater, especially because when they added the full capacity back, like, I don't know, like a month ago, it's just insane. I have way too many people around me. I want to eat some popcorn, but now it's like in this air, in this enclosed space. It's just odd. But I've seen so many people who are fully vaccinated, and they'll be like, oh, I have a slight cough. And then they'll get tested and they'll find out that they're positive. And like, that's the thing. I also feel like people kind of forgot about like testing because of vaccinations. It's like, if you feel any symptoms, like I said, before I found out I actually had food poisoning, I started feeling sick, and I got nervous for a second. So I actually like booked an appointment, but then it was just food poisoning. So, after Wednesday, I'm good now. I mean, stomach's a little bit, but
Yeah,
I have
like,
my coffee, so it's
I
fine.
feel, I
Yes,
feel you on
food
that.
poisoning. Can you
I've had
imagine?
I've had stomach issues since November of last year, and I have this thing where it's like the insurance is like a Kafka-esque nightmare of like getting on a different plan so I can go see this doctor, but then now it requires it requires pre-authorization, and like it's just
A
like this
new guy
endless thing, so I
donated
can't ever actually get.
$20. The first time I
cover
ever
this
saw
later.
Ben Bateman without sunglasses, I was like, who the heck is that?
Nice.
That's good.
What a
Yo, that's
brand.
honestly me with Brandon. When I look at his past matches before he had a beard and like longer hair, I don't
Yeah.
know who that man is.
Oh,
He
I
really
don't know
blew
who
up,
that man
too.
is.
his baby face is so different. It's crazy.
He looks like,
I-
can I tell you something? He grew up so hard, like, in the time, I feel like over quarantine, Brandon's one of those people who, like, now he looks like a Charlie Kaufman character. I mean that in the best way possible. Like, he's like
Oh,
this, he's got this
100%.
scruffy, like, kind of cool hipstery look. Like, well done.
Like, it's like, honestly, I compare Brandon to Drake. Like, Drake is always meant to have like that beard that he has because he looks so
Mhm.
good with it. And then you look at like Degrassi Drake with like the no beard, and even like early Drake, and you're like, what was going on here? So it's like like he was just meant to have that facial hair.
Yeah.
The beard and the hair. Because even when he did grow out the beard and he had the short hair, it's like now the curls. You gotta rock. If you're blessed
Yeah.
with
Curls are so good.
curls, gotta rock it.
Yeah.
Want to hear a fun game that me and Nerd Chronic came up with the other night? It's called What Kind of Engineer is Brandon? And we try to guess it based on like what we know about him. And I was like, he was like bio, and I was like, I don't think it's bio. I was like mechanical, and he's like, what does that mean though? And I was like, I don't know, like something with the grids. And he's like, with the grids, and I was like, yeah, it's like with the energy grids, that kind of like engineer. So we watched some of his show, and he was talking about like how they made vanilla like flavor out of plastic bottles, and I was like, is it a food engineer? And he's like, I don't think that's right. So he played that game for like 30 minutes.
He's actually just like just
Did
a
you come
train
to a
engineer
conclusion?
where like he wears like the big
Say
conductor hats.
underscore
And
it
he's
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
underscore is
choo-choo.
underscore not underscore true donated $20. What the fuck is going on? Please tell me this is not the last show. What happened?
Oh my God.
I have been so
Oh.
busy for the last few months and missed some shows. Please
go with
explain.
it. Just go with it. Just
Weird
go.
flex.
Just
Weird
go.
flex.
No, it's not the last show. We are just moving over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the Schmoedown. We will be there. There will still be replays available for people that can't catch us live. For the first month, the replays will only be there for 2 weeks, guys. But then once we apply for partner, and we will definitely get partner, then all the replays will be there. All the clips will be there all the time. Matt Link's job just got a lot easier of clipping things out. So we are good to go. So
And
Monday
Brandon is a
Twitch.tv.
mechanical engineer.
Oh my! I was right, mechanical, but does it have to do with grids?
Trains.
I mean,
trains,
I could
it's a train
probably
engineer.
text him and ask him. I didn't even
You don't
know.
know
I was dating
either.
him for like 4 months, and I was like, I don't know what a mechanical engineer does. But then I saw some of his like work that he does and the numbers and everything, and I'm like, ooh, that's way. I watch movies and I talk about them. I don't know what anything is on this sheet.
Let me just say, is it different than like, you know, I know Chandru is also, and Chandru and Mara are both like, you know, engineer,
Yeah.
scientist type. Is he the same type as Chandru, or is he a different type of engineer than Chandru?
I think
is?
he's a different type, but I think because I've heard like conversations between him and Mara, and I don't understand anything of what they're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's a little bit different because I think Chandru, I might be wrong, but I think he's a chemical engineer.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know what
they
that
all
is
be-
either.
They would all be like, who would be like kidnapped by Hydra first? I guess is what my question is.
I feel like Mara.
Mara
Mara
with her
probably.
military background for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah.
right.
In the hierarchy of the engineers that are going to get kidnapped, I think it's Mara, Chandru, Brandon.
Yeah.
See, like
Mara, Chandru-
me and Sabrina just watched G.I. Joe. Brandon would be like that scientist that whatever her name is, like Sienna Miller, like kills. Like
Yeah.
she's like married to him. Like you're Sienna Miller, and you're just
I
gonna walk
am.
in one day with like the Cobra virus, and then
Mhm.
just kill Brandon.
I'm actually mind
Spoilers.
controlled. Yeah. Spoilers
Exactly.
to something that's going to happen in the future.
Yes.
I just
Absolutely.
pitched a Halloween costume because I wanted this for like last year, but we're gonna do it this year, Midsommar, where Brandon dresses up
Yes.
in like the bear
Yes.
costume, and then I'm gonna be the May Queen.
I
So
like it.
Sold, sold
Absolutely.
so hard. I can't even be sold harder on what that is. I just realized my name says Sarah Grant, and I hate that about it. So how do you change your little name on the bottom of like screen? Gotta do that real quick.
Oh, no one else can see that.
Okay,
that's
good.
just
Never mind. Never mind.
Oops.
Alex, what else do we have on the docket? Black Widow suing Disney, Emma Stone possibly suing Disney. What else we got?
Whoa.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I know this kind of broke as it happened yesterday, but yeah, Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney over contract breach because of because Disney decided to release it on the Disney Plus streaming service, and she wouldn't have been able to get her bonuses. Ben, stop! I hate you. So Ben, what do you think about all this? I think Disney even responded, and I can pull that up in just a second.
Disney's response is so gaslighting. It's fucking insane.
It's like, oh really? You want your money? What do you love viruses? That was
like
basically-
it's so Disney's response is so fucking toxic. Like I can't
so
believe they released this press statement.
Yeah. It was like, it's
You want your money? Fuck off!
Oh, you want to get paid from this multi-billion conglomerate corporation? Oh, I guess you don't care about COVID. Oh,
wow, you guys, I don't know if you consider this a compliment or not. I thought Brett was doing that.
that was good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, like I think literally their word for word thing was like, it's sad that she's using this pandemic as an excuse to try to get more money, and it's like, no, she's
Disney World opened in July of last year. Suck my entire asshole. Like
all his entire ass.
Entire thing.
And we're
Just
coming
like,
from a time where like Frank Darabont just won this like $200 million thing against AMC and The Walking Dead because like it was about points on the back end and how much money he deserved from the residuals of that first season of The Walking Dead. And that's essentially what this is. It's saying that like she's not going to get that money from like streaming like it off like Disney Plus. She gets the money from like she gets her points or whatever from the theatrical release. So by them releasing them simultaneously, they're basically just taking money out of her mouth. And like, yeah,
Like,
that's not what the great deal is.
Like just to make more Disney Plus subscribers, and it's like this isn't A24. This is Disney. Like you have all the money that you would owe Scarlett Johansson, you will make in one day at Disneyland. Literally one day at Disneyland, you won't even blink and miss this money. So people that are like, oh, why is this rich person suing this? No, this is not the same. This is not the same at all.
Yeah.
The
Tim
same
Sims'
people
comment
you're
is saying
on for like defending Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos going to space. This is what you're doing now.
Yeah.
This
all the need was a reason to like dunk on Scarlett Johansson, and like Lord, far be it from me to like not use an excuse to dunk on Scarlett Johansson, who usually when she is trending is in the wrong about whatever she's talking about, like whether it's about seltzer or the Gaza Strip. Like it's like, oh honey, like maybe back the heck up. It's like I saw a really funny tweet today that was like or yesterday that was like Colin Jost walking to the room to see Scarlett Johansson, like Twitter to see Scarlett Johansson and Michael Che trending, and it was just that Grandpa Simpson picking up his hat, like walking to a room, picking up a hat, walking right back out again. But like for once, I'm like, no, Scarlett Johansson is completely within her right. Also, this is not like a cause du jour kind of issue. It's like she had a contract, they're in breach of it. Why is this even why is this even a thing we care about? Except it's a woman and it's a Disney Marvel woman, and like that's why it's nothing to do with the actual issue.
And I saw people up in arms because it was, it's 50 million that she's losing out on. And yes, that's a lot of fucking money to us. But again, if you're promised that amount of money, in a sense, then you should get that kind of money. It's a lot to everybody. She's got plenty of money. Yes, I'm sure she has plenty of money, but that doesn't, make it okay to not give her the money she deserves.
Again, go ahead, Drew.
It's weird that we treat companies like corporations to the extent where we're like more sympathetic to the giant conglomerate. Like, I mean, that's really the most American thing about this whole thing. It's like we treat businesses like they're companies. Not only that, we treat them like they're more sympathetic than the actual human beings like at stake. Like we don't care about, Izos's, was it Jeffrey Izos? Is that his name? The guy who's head of Bezos. No, not Jeffrey Bezos. The Izos. Bob Izos, right? Or Iger?
Iger.
Bob
Iger.
Iger.
Bob Iger. There we go. I'm confusing on my Bo Burnham lyrics. Bob Iger's face. Like, we don't care about him. We don't really know what he looks like. But like, we treat Disney like it's a sacred thing that we need to protect and hold close to our heart because this evil SJW woman's coming to take it away from us. And like, nah. That's not what's happening here. It's a company. It's like Ben said, it's been stayed open this entire time. Disney world has stayed open this entire time during COVID. They don't care about you, and they
also,
just
like,
care about the money.
You don't know what her fucking and that's the thing. Like, this actor doesn't care about the art. It's a fucking Marvel movie. Everything is about money. Everything is about making toys. Everything is about making merch. They have slapped her face on fucking everything. There's literally an actor playing her at the new Marvel campus. Like, her likeness is being used. The least she could get is this. And trust me, I realize it's Scarlett Johansson getting an extra $50 million. I know that. But you know what? Put this in your hands. You signed a contract for a job, however, whatever the ratio is, like, $50,000, whatever. You're just gonna be like, you know what? I don't need that extra $50,000. I already have $100,000 in the bank. Fuck that. Like, are you kidding me? You would fight tooth and nail for that.
It's anti-business.
So who cares?
And it's really sexist. This really
Tim
only
Sim
happens to
donated
women.
$20. You'd think that this is a golden opportunity for WB to welcome talent and promise they'll be compensated like Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman 1984 when it comes to simultaneous releases. But they gotta get their act together and be delivering consistency.
I was about to say, a week after or 2 weeks after Space Jam: A New Legacy came out, how bad do you have to be for us to be like, you know what? WB is a corporation that cares about its property.
Especially because they were in this hot water with Nolan and Denis beforehand. So I guess, like, they did like some backtracking, but we'll see if anybody else besides Gal Gadot. And Scarlett Johansson is that level too. So this isn't, some, like, no offense to anybody else, but this is like a character actor or, like a background extra or something. This is the other biggest female superhero in the world on the Marvel side and getting screwed over like this.
Well, it's also like, if it was like Robert Downey Jr. or somebody else, and I know we already like talked about the fact that it's a woman and it's a little bit different, but people would be like, oh my God, he's done so much for the character. He's been this character for years. Of course he deserves this money. This is the last time we're going to see him. It's like when I know we just talked about all the money in the world, but then when they reshot it, the scenes with like Christopher Plummer and stuff, Mark Wahlberg was paid $1.5 million. Michelle Williams was paid $80 a day.
Yeah. And wasn't Kevin Spacey still compensated for his time? Like, all those times where they do that, they're still compensated. Like, they're still given the money for that. I mean, the other thing is, like, it is such a gendered issue. This reminds me of like when what the name of Ryan Johnson's wife, you must remember this podcast, something like that. She was trying to fundraise. Karina, right? So she was trying to raise money for the podcast, and someone went, well, you're married to the Star Wars guy. Like, why does she need money for her Patreon? Or like Jenny Nicholson recently found some old Pokemon, and I like commented on her thing being like, oh, that Hitmonchan is actually worth a couple $100. And someone DM'd me being like, she makes this much money off of Patreon. She doesn't need those Pokemon. She doesn't need to know how much they're worth. And I'm like, what does one of those things have to do with another? Like, you would never say that about a guy. Like, you never be like, he's enough money. He doesn't deserve to know how much his stuff is worth. Like, that's insane.
And that's the thing. Like, if this had ever happened to Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans or someone like that, they'd be like, "Oh my God, let's go, Captain America, get your money, absolutely! Like, we love you 3000, whatever fucking other shit." Like, there'd be campaigns. Robert Downey Jr. got paid $50 million for his 20 minutes of screen time in fucking Spider-Man: Homecoming. Y'all weren't complaining about the rich getting richer there. Like,
I mean, like, it's literally a woman thing, because Bezos and Musk can go, like, these are the same people who are like, no, they can go to space. They can use all their money and go to space if that's what they want to do. That's capitalism, baby. But
it's like these people pay like $28 billion for a ticket and nobody cares then. That could literally end like hunger in so many different places. And that like, it is just shocking to see. Like, I remember hearing about the Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Williams situation, like $1.5 million and then $80 a day. That's absolutely atrocious. And also I had a friend who worked at a restaurant, and they were told that they were going to make all of their tips, and then the restaurant wasn't doing super well. And the restaurant was like, oh, we're going to take like 40% of your tips later on. And it's like, no, you can't do stuff like that. So in these small scale situations that are relatable for the everyday person, we'd be like, no, you can't do that. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They breached the contract. Yeah.
It normalizes that behavior. Once it happens to Scarlett Johansson, then other companies feel fine being like, well, I mean, like, we're going to do it to you. What are you going to do about it? Like, it normalizes that behavior of this double standard. I think it's also gross because, like, Scarlett Johansson, this movie got pushed back so many times. They messed with it, like the release date. They had her do press for this. Like, it wasn't like she just did the movie. She also had to be the face of this campaign as it limped along. like for like like it was a year, right? Like it was like a little over a year.
Right,
This
this
movie
wasn't
came out
like this
over your shoulder.
surprise, like, oh my god, we got to release this on Disney Plus. This came out of nowhere. No, they had so many delays and so much time. Like a year, right? Like, wasn't this supposed to come
Yeah,
out
they had a
last
year to
summer?
figure out
Yeah.
a way
They
to
had
do
a
it.
year
And
to renegotiate this contract. Be like, Scarlett, we're thinking of doing this Disney Plus thing, but we'll have like a $30 so we can, they made, what was it, like $60 million opening weekend on Disney Plus? Like, have her take a cut of that. Like, whether it's going to be the same 50 million, whether it's going to be like, the same amount of money, or whether she would have taken it, that's one thing. But the fact that they didn't even get her at the table to negotiate and they just ignored what was going on, fuck yes. Every single one of us would sue. Say you want, like, Daniel Green, you're stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah.
She's not greedy. It's her money. It's her money that she was
You'd be-
contractually obligated to get.
you would be
When you're
stupid to
that
not
famous
sue.
and
Like
you-
anybody would tell you.
When your face is on a billion
She's not even Black Widow anymore. She's trying to secure the bag for the future.
Good.
Why are you
That's
standing
the
up for
point
Disney? I
of
don't
this.
understand.
Yeah, we're not
Especially
talking about.
for women that
People
have
will
such a
go
short
to
acting
bat for
career.
like the most powerful, richest people that do not give an absolute shit about them, but then go after a situation like this. And I know this is still rich and powerful and whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, like you said, it's nothing. It's nothing compared to
Also,
Disney.
I don't care. This is just the same as an athlete. Women have such a short lifespan in Hollywood because of ageism and sexism. Absolutely, she should get $50 million because she's over 30. She's over 35 now. Oh my gosh, we don't know what to cast her in. It's the same thing as a running back or a fucking basketball player. Be like, you know what? No, I want my guaranteed money. And if they got cut by the team, you still owe me that guaranteed money because my fucking athletic life career it has such a short window. So yes, you're right. She is securing the bag for the future. Fuck yes, she should. You just proved my point. Thank you, Daniel, for your contribution to the chat.
I don't know if like
Good
the
that
age
she has
of the
this
actors have
argument.
to do with it. Like if this happened to Saoirse Ronan or Florence Pugh, I think like they are still within the right. It has nothing to do with like your shelf life, quote unquote. But I do think that it's like she has the power in Hollywood. What's surprising and upsetting about that is like she's got such power behind her. I mean, like she is the Hollywood establishment. She's like the elite. If they're doing this to her, then just think of like how this trickles down to like everybody else in Hollywood.
Sets a good precedent. At least people will have more power, and that this will be more upfront. Hopefully, when contracts are negotiated. And yes, and now
Let's say her movie wouldn't have made that much if it was exclusively in theaters. You're right. You're right. Because the last female MCU movie didn't make $1 billion goddamn dollars.
Yeah.
Good job. Clap it up.
I
Last
don't
show,
understand
I
why
got
you
all
would
the
stand
fucking
up for
time in the world
Disney.
today, baby.
Because
Makes
they're
no
not standing up
sense
for
to me.
Disney. They're standing up against Scarlett Johansson. It's
Yeah,
the
that's a
same
good
thing
point.
as anything. It's the same thing as the Katrina thing. It's only to the women. It literally, no one's being like Frank Darabont being Darabont being breeding for asking for that residuals for The Walking Dead. No one's saying that. Like literally nobody because he's a dude and like because that's standard.
And Daniel, this is the last time I'm going to acknowledge you because you're stupid. But yes, if Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if they breached his contract, yes, they should. It's that simple.
It's also
They
not
had
emotional.
a contract and they breached it. So
It ain't
you
even
sue
emotional.
them.
Like
If
don't even get
If
hysterical
they
about it.
negotiated with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt beforehand, then no, they shouldn't.
Like the dude, like I need him to like the commenter, like he needs to stop being hysterical, take a breath, calm down, please, and realize that if this was anybody else, you would just be saying, "Oh, let the lawyers
And
handle
if it
this."
was
Of course,
The Rock,
it's a
I
breach
bet
of
you
contract.
fucking love it.
Yeah, it's a breach of contract, and it's not an emotional thing. This doesn't have to be like about her personality or how you feel about her one way or another. It's a contract. It's a contract dispute, and like that's it. It doesn't have to be about anything else.
And you've got to look at this as the situation. Is $50 million a lot of goddamn money and
Yeah, it
ridiculous? Yes. And should the smaller actors get more money on these films? Yes. Should the crew get residuals? Should the wardrobe get residuals? Like, yes, there are things that are fucked up about this career. This is you got to take it with the tunnel vision of somebody was promised money, they didn't get that money.
It's yeah.
Yeah,
why lawyers
that's
exist.
it. Not
This
like,
is-
oh, they have enough, they have whatever, shit. I argued with AT&T because they weren't going to give me my free Sonos speaker one time, and they said, "Well, we'll give you a $50 gift card." I said, "Fuck you! You're telling me, oh, we can't give you $400. How about we give you 50? No, you're giving me the goddamn speaker because you told me when I signed this contract I'd get the speaker. That's my $50 million, motherfucker."
It's not just about the principle of the thing, because that makes it sound like it's just one person on a crusade. I doubt she even is that involved with it. It is her lawyers doing this, and like she says she gets it paid, but you don't want to set a precedent where like suddenly you don't get paid. Like if like suddenly studios can just breach their contract and like that's an okay thing to do, because God forbid, what if that happens to one of the male actors? Like God forbid, like what if Chris Hemsworth doesn't get paid for his next movie? Daniel, like what happens then, Daniel? What if Chris Hemsworth stops getting paid, Daniel?
Then he'll be on the picket lines with a poster board.
Yeah,
Pay
exactly.
Chris Hemsworth this money.
Yeah.
This is a breach of contract.
What if Chris Pratt doesn't get paid enough for the Tomorrow War because it came out on Amazon Prime? What if Chris Pratt spent all his money on hunting?
Even as a fake scenario, that's just too far, Drew.
Yeah.
Like,
sorry,
Chris Pratt needs to get paid for the Tomorrow War. That movie's perfect.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he deserves to. But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't?
Oh man!
Oh my
So,
God.
for Schmobots, I think everybody will all sing a slowed down version of a rock song for our trailer. You get to pick the song. What do you think, Ben? Every 50 will sing a song.
I think every 50 will sing a song.
I like that.
I want to do nothing dirty. That doesn't make it funny if it's too short. People, come on.
Can we? I know this isn't. How do I share something in the chat? Because I need everybody to go look at this Shang-Chi poster, and like, why can't here? I'll put it in the chat, guys. Go look at the chat. Why can't Marvel get posters right? Like the Spider-Man
What's
poster.
going on there? That's not,
like,
wait, was that for the ring guy, the guy who has all the rings on his hand?
Yes. But just
Why
like,
does he have all the like lasers coming out of the sides? That's not a ring. That's
for
bad.
context,
They did
here is
Bengals
the
now.
Spider-Man. Here's the Spider-Man Homecoming poster that was equally as bad. Like,
it looks. I made that poster, and that's not a good sign.
like, why can't Marvel has? Speaking of all the money in the world, Marvel has all the money in the goddamn world, and I don't know what's wrong with their poster guy. Like, I'm not trying to dunk on this poor, intern doing Photoshop, but it's just like, who's approving these? Like, there's so much going on in that Shang-Chi poster. And there's a car. Why is there a car on the right side? Like,
I took one semester of a Photoshop and like an Illustrator class. I could do a better job, and I know, and it's been 4 years, and I know I could do a better job, and
like,
I
there's
barely
the
passed that
abomination
class.
on the bottom left. Here, I'm gonna
bring it back up. Bring it back up, and I will tell you why I would have made the poster exactly like this. So hire me for your posters, please. So bring that Spider-Man one back up for a second, if you can.
It's just in the chat.
Okay. That was the reason why it's perfect is because there's somebody being a green screened out, but only from the shoulders up, or like only from the shoulders down. So it looks like part of her is going into like the Eiffel Tower. Is that what that is? So that's really good. Or no, not Eiffel Tower. Let me see the chat. Sorry.
I think it's the Golden Gate Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge. When was that in the movie? Are they?
What are you talking about?
What poster are you looking at right now?
I thought I was looking at the Far From Home one.
No, it's the
So it has to be
Homecoming.
like
There's the Washington Monument.
Oh, the Washington Monument. Thank you. Sorry, I got the wrong movie confused. But like, she's being like kind of. It does remind me of the kind of stuff I do when I try to like make my own thumbnails for stuff. And so eventually one of my mods was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make the thumbnails from now on. So now it's all like uniform, and I realized what the difference is now it looks like a coherent brand as opposed to like me floating in space and my co-host floating in space, and we're staring at some text that's like 3 different fonts. So I guess
graphic design is my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like with the Shang-Chi, like just the bottom is what's freaking me out. Is because you have like the Abomination in there, which is obviously just a screen cap from the trailer, and then you just have the city above him, and then on the right side you just have the jungle with 2 cars. Like, is that like a big thing about? It's just the jungle and cars?
Yeah.
And then above him you've got three people on the left-hand side with helicopters. Got to put the helicopters in there. On the right side, you got Aquafina looking like just sultry. She's just like sultry over there. And then you have graffiti above the father. And it's like there's just so much. Like you could have just had is it Simu Liu?
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu. You know what? I need you to be this technical with every name you pronounce, Alex.
I know.
And then his father, like you just had those two on the poster, just him overlooking Simu Liu, and that's it. That's all you got to do. Not literally every person that has a speaking role needs to be on the trailer. I mean, on the poster.
That's a
6 years
contract. That's a
ago?
contract thing.
It's a breach of contract.
It's a
They're all
contract
gonna
thing.
sue. They're all gonna sue.
Yeah. Be
You
on
know,
the
6
poster.
years ago when you'd open Facebook and there would be all these like fake posts of like movies that were like announced. It'd be like Iron Man 4, or they'd cut like a fake trailer for like a new High School Musical like 10 years later or whatever, and they'll use clips from all this stuff. That's the energy that I get from these posters. This is 14-year-old Reddit user who goes on Photoshop, makes that and spreads it around and tries to make it seem like this is real. That's what I get from these two
But I
posters.
honestly, I don't even want to do that because I remember when, like, I remember posting like a fake Civil War trailer, like when,
You
MCU was
posted?
like, yeah, because I knew it was fake, but I was like,
You
oh my
fell
gosh,
for it.
I don't think they could ever do this, but this would be so cool because I'd read the comics and it was really good. It was really, really good. And so I don't know if a fan would do this like this.
Well, that's why I said
much.
14, because that's the cap
that's
of
the
like, then
cap.
they start to get really talented with their Photoshop and stuff because they've been working at it. But
I'll tell you this much though: if that person got promised $1 million to make that shitty poster and they got $50,000, I'd let them sue.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's only because he's a man, right, Brett?
Yes. Yeah. I said that person. I left it open.
women don't need money.
Yeah.
We just
Women
sit here
don't
and
need
look
money. They have
pretty.
men to
You just
provide for them.
smile
Come
and you
on.
get free drinks. And,
Yeah.
And you shouldn't
Look,
be
okay, having
voting
been
either.
Married, no big deal. But
Yeah.
I used to be married to a lawyer who is on TV, so that's two of the things that make you special in this world. And he would have told me, never in a million years would you let someone go back on a contract negotiation, no matter how small it is, or no matter how like silly it is, or like or no matter what it is. Never let people do that, because once
Yeah.
you let them do that, that's a precedent. And then once there's a precedent, then everyone's just going to do it to you about everything ever. And,
Yeah,
like, it's just-
AT&T, Uverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. I
It
got
is
my Sonos
literally, like,
speaker.
it is like I got, and I'd never try to be rude to the service people, but like if someone tries to, like, if Walmart is not going to send me a refund, oh, I will get all sorts of care. Not on them, not on like the person that's helping me out, but
Exactly.
on the situation. I will get all Karen.
If you order a burger for $10 and
Okay,
it comes
yes,
with
this happened
fries,
last week. Mhm.
and you don't get fries,
Yes.
are you gonna say something?
So what
Are you
happened
gonna be like,
was-
hey, where are my fries? Or are you gonna be like,
What
you know
about them,
what? I
Daniel?
already got my
So what
burger. I
happened-
guess I'll just pay full price for just this burger.
I've
Great
had plenty of
example.
fries in my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Great example.
I'm gonna have
this
fries
weekend,
in the future.
Yeah.
This weekend, Nerd Chronic and I got some. I had a bad stomach, so I had some soup and a salad, and that's what I got from BJ's. The Uber driver called me, or like the Uber Postmates person called me as they were leaving. And they went, "Oh, by the way, they didn't have the salad, so I'm gonna try to get you refunded." And I was like, "Okay." Hung up the phone, and then Nerd Chronic went, "Well, aren't they supposed to call you in the restaurant and ask if you want to swap anything out? Like now you're only getting like half a meal." And I was like, "Whatever, like I already tipped them." And she was like, "No, that's like bad service. They like are
Yeah.
supposed to stay there and ask you if you want anything replaced. Now you're only getting half a meal and we'll have to like order a second thing." And I went, "No, forget about it." And he's like, no. And he like made me go back and do the thing and like call up the Postmates and get a refund, and then also like not tip them as much. And that felt really, really bad not to do. I did not like tipping them less and going back and changing the tip amount. But he was like, "No, you gotta stand up for yourself sometime." And like most of the times it's not that big of a deal, but like sometimes like you needed certain kinds of food and like they didn't offer a substitute, and like yeah, that's on her.
It's like I got a poke bowl last week and they
What?
didn't put my
Can we go more food? More.
Wait.
Brett, I need you to have a food example ready. You two,
They
Alex.
didn't have my seaweed, or they didn't put my seaweed salad in there. I ignored that. That's fine. You know, I could do without a little bit of seaweed salad in this. I was sad, but it's okay. But if they forgot like my tuna or something that's like of substance and of value, then like I'm gonna say something, you know?
Travis Gilbert had the
Gilbert.
best. It depends. If I bought the burger from Disney, it's okay. Disney can decide what's best for me.
Well, that's why Disney has $100 burger now that you can buy at Disney. Like go
my
buy that burger at Disney. Like it's the Pim burger or whatever that they have on the campus. That's like made out of solid gold or something. You can pick gold.
Guys, Daniel
Sorry.
says she got paid the same amount as Denzel did. As long as she got paid as much as a man, then that's what matters.
Yeah, that's
in
what-
the huge very
in the
famous movie, Little
blockbuster
Things.
hit, The Little Things.
Little
only
Things,
premiered on
guys.
HBO Max. That
And
no
is that
one
more of a
fucking watched.
TV movie? That was like the HBO Max. That was always going to be a TV movie.
Yes.
Jared Leto needs some of
No,
that back end feel
I'm-
for Little Things.
That quiet crime noir thriller is just the same as an MCU movie, Drew. Come
Yeah.
on.
And not only that,
Black
but
Widow's an
Quiet
independent
one-off
film.
Thriller is the same as a giant franchise, tentpole franchise, in which like you have been a tentpole of it. One of the poles
Literally
of
a
the tent.
staple since the third movie in the franchise.
You were
Yeah.
the second standalone woman to ever get your own film in this entire world. But you should just take it. Just bend over and take it.
Yeah. Just take it. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Alex, what is your food-related story to this contractual breach?
Shoot, I should have thought of one while you when
literally
you
told
asked
you
me.
to.
Yeah, I know.
Out of all the things, though, I'm still stuck on. Out of all the things to compare Black Widow to, Denzel in The Little
In The
Things, that just
Little
was like the most left field. Like, truly, that's
Yeah.
honestly, I
love
can't
how
tell
he
if it's a
thought that
satire
it
or
was
not.
just like he thought that, oh, here's my fucking
I'm
golden
Googling
ticket,
to see
baby.
whether that's
Take
true. I'm
this.
gonna see whether or
Yeah,
not this
it's
is
The
Tim Franco,
lack
that's what we're
of
doing.
self-awareness is
And
honestly
yes,
just
guys,
so
we
beautiful.
will mute Daniel if he ever gets out of hand, but it's really funny seeing
Daniel,
someone
this is
like
not-
bury
this is not your
himself
day.
alive.
Happy last day on YouTube.
It really
God
is.
damn.
It really is.
And I gotta say, I don't
Yeah,
get
join
me
us on
wrong.
Twitch, Daniel.
In my youth, I used to get mad at people that were rich and doing the things that I wanted to do and were making a ton of money. But that's not the point. I mean, I was angry and poor, and I still am. So, but you can't get mad at people that don't get what they deserve, what they were promised, and yeah, that's the whole point. So let's all get along and make some
that's
fart
exactly
jokes.
what Drew said. It's like, if this is happening to Scarlett Johansson, one of the biggest faces, names, stars in the
She
world,
should be protected by her
Yes.
agents and her lawyers, and like that, she should be as insulated from this BS as anybody.
and if this is happening to her, it's happening to a lot of less fortunate actresses and actors that don't have the representation, that don't have the notoriety, that is not going to make, it's not going to go trending on Twitter when they sue their company, and they're just going to be like, no, we're not going to pay you.
Look,
So-
it's a WGA thing. Like WGA had this whole thing about how like not enough people. Like it turns out like nobody that was getting WGA cards in the last couple of years were people of color. Like, and they just like hadn't like noticed that. Like in any of the writers guilds, like there had been no new members. I think like in the past like year or so, like or like the numbers were way off. Like it was a very small percentage. So now they have to do this push to be like, okay, we want some more diversity here. But that's because we're just talking about the people who are the stars of the movie. We're not even talking about below the line working conditions.
Yeah.
But if that's the above the line working conditions, like that's pretty indicative of how they're going to treat people.
Yeah. So, anyways, what else do we have, Alex?
I think I
you
got
got
a
your
good-
food story?
I think
Okay.
I think-
I want
The other night, I was bought shots, and then it turns out mine was a peanut
Right.
butter jelly shot. And I said something about it because I'm allergic to peanuts, and I'm not sure if I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to take the risk, so I asked for something else, and they gave me a different shot. Is that comparable? Is that analogous? I don't know,
Well,
but it's
well,
a fucking
yeah.
food story. So are you happy, Ben?
No, that was
Well,
terrible.
Well, wait, but they gave you your thing with when you asked for it, right? They didn't
Yeah,
put up a fuss.
exactly.
They didn't make like a thing being like, well, you know what? You don't like peanut butters? Do you maybe love viruses? Is that what it is that you love this pandemic? Did they try to reframe the conversation about how you love pandemics because you asked for something different? Because you were going to die if you drank the one thing they gave you?
Disney's like, so many people are suffering. Not us. We're fine.
Yeah, we're
But
fine.
think about the
We're good.
pandemic.
Yeah. We force our workers to like go into Disney World with a bunch of unmasked cretins all day long.
They
But
went
you know what?
full
They're
Vanessa
sucky
Hudgens.
children.
They went full Vanessa Hudgens. Like, yeah, some people are gonna die, but as
Yeah.
long as Disney World stays open, I know we're changing Splash Mountain, but oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I
We changed
can't
Splash
not go
Mountain. What
to
more do you
Coachella.
want?
Right? They can only do so much. They can only do so much. Gosh. Alex, what else do we have?
Simmons is
Whoa.
what
you
did my
don't-
mic go out?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's all the expletives you were using about Daniel Green, but go ahead.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh my God. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Am I good? Hello.
yep.
Can you hear me?
I do want to read this because Drew put this in the chat. 2018's highest paid actor Scarlett Johansson made basically $200 million less than the highest paid actor George Clooney. When was the last time you saw George Clooney outside of Netflix? Let's be real.
Right.
And ScarJo was in both Infinity War and Endgame, so that should show you something.
Yeah. That's
She was the only actress to earn as much as anybody and any of the guys in the top 10. So she was the only one to even like crack any of the dudes. The rest of the list was dudes.
Michelle Williams. It's shocking to me. Michelle Williams, such an amazing actress who has had such an established career. They're like, yeah, $80 a day. I made more working 4 hours at a coffee shop.
Yeah. To be fair, Wahlberg, and this is not like to be like, oh, that's all good. Wahlberg donated all his money after that to the Time's Up campaign, which was a good, PR
Good
move.
PR move. Good PR move once that came out.
Yeah. Remember, this is the same guy who said 9/11 would have been different if he had been on one of those planes, because he would have.
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
He
He said 9/11 would have ended differently if he had been on one of those planes.
You can't prove that he's wrong, though, Drew.
I mean, if the butterfly effect, something would have been different. We would have gotten no 10
something would have been different. We don't know if it would have been positive, but something would have been different.
Once they invent time travel.
Oh,
Yeah, like
gotta
who
place
would have
him.
gotten all his parts in that case? Like he would have been on that plane. That means we would have gotten no more Mark Wahlberg movies.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Someone's audio is like doing some crackle.
It's Alex.
Man.
Man.
Thought this new mic would help, but I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
Do you have
Alex.
maybe the settings on so it's like getting the mic in from two different places? Are you sure the mic's coming in from the new mic? Because sometimes
Mic is
I do
coming
that
in
with...
from my it's coming in from my Rode.
Okay.
All right. Everybody send in $20 and help Alex with his mic. I'm going to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom.
And we also want to sing the song that's going to go in slow motion.
Yeah, make this last day a great Schmoedown day, y'all.
Yeah. So sorry, Daniel. That'll be our theme song for this one. This will be our
No,
goodbye.
I loved the line that stuck with me from you. You're like, what about then, Daniel? How about then? That's
What about the Chris's, Daniel?
Yeah.
What else you got, Alex?
Back.
Blade
Did it
Hawk
just do it again?
donated $200. Hi Senator Crew, happy
Whoa!
Friday. Wanted to show support on the last day on YouTube. Excited to see this show on Twitch next week.
Blade Hawk.
Wait,
Blade
who
Hawk.
did that?
Boom,
Who was
boom,
that?
boom, boom.
Is
Blade
that
Hawk.
Daniel? Who donated that?
That was Daniel. No, it was Blade Hawk. Thank you very much for that huge donation, Blade Hawk. We really
Hell
appreciate it.
yeah.
Killing it on our last day.
Thank you so much, Blade Hawk. That's awesome, dude.
Can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
you there on
Good.
Twitch next
Now we have to do a Twitch sings. Yeah, now we have to do our song. What's the slowdown song that you would want to go over your dramatic movie?
Oh,
like
you
Heart
know
of
what?
Glass?
For Daniel, we'll sing "Bitch Better Have My Money."
Yeah, I forget how that goes.
Sabrina hit it.
What you wanted. Let me pull up these lyrics really
Right.
Oh
quick.
wait, isn't that with Matt Mickelson in the video?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
She
It
kicked out
is,
of him? Oh,
man.
that's so
Mickelson.
hot. That is so hot. That video. And it could be like the
Let's pull
choir
this up.
version. It's like, bitch, better have my money.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, yo. Ooh la la. Yeah, yo. Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money. Please don't call me on my bluff. Pay me what you owe me. Ballin' bigger than LeBron. Bitch, give me your money. Who y'all think y'all frontin' on? Like blah blah blah.
You just
And then
that
the
just turned into sexy ASMR with Sabrina.
Well, I was trying to. You know how they do like they're
No,
like,
no,
oh
it
yeah,
was
let's
good.
take
No, I know.
Nirvana.
I knew
You
what
like
you were going
moving the
for.
mic and everything. Like you got into it right there.
I
I
was trying to think
applaud.
of
That
so I
was
could do the little
good.
pull quotes in between where I'd be like, "You can't handle the truth."
Yeah. Where is my
Daniel
money?
underscore from underscore the underscore chat donated $20. Black Widow was average at best. She doesn't need to get paid more money. I love this show. See you on Twitch Monday.
So based
Wait.
on the
Because the movie was average, guys.
Wait, but here's the
obviously,
thing.
All salaries are paid on Tomato
Wait.
Store.
Wait.
But
Here's the
thank you.
weird. Black Widow as a character is average, or Scarlett Johansson's average, or was he being sarcastic?
The
Because he gave us
movie.
money. Oh, okay. I actually, what's weird is it took me a very long time to see Black Widow because I had no interest in it. And I saw it and I was like, this movie is very funny. Like, I was like, this movie actually has some pop and pizzazz. I saw it was directed by a woman named Kate. And I was like, oh, that must really suck for her because, like, Kate Herron's getting all the MCU buzz as being, like, the female director named Kate. That would suck to be the Black Widow director also named Kate right now. But then that movie kind of freaking.
You can
You
you can cuss as much as you want.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, you can
Apparently, we need to get Drew in an executive as baby. You got that style, cowboy kid. You're going places.
Got the style points. I
Got
really
the
liked
style.
it.
in this
What's that,
town.
Leslie?
I thought it was funny. I thought David Harbour was on point. I thought the jokes landed. I was like, it was I thought it was funny. The only part that like didn't land was, and they did very funny in the Honest trailer, was like, and she's gonna harness the world's greatest energy of girl power. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of all on brand.
And again, like
Yeah.
even I can admit, like Captain Marvel was an average movie. Guess what? It made $1 billion goddamn dollars. So it's like
A lot. Doctor Strange, at the end of the day, like these are all like at least pretty
Thor,
okay.
Dark
Origin
World.
stories are never like the most interesting things in
Yeah.
the world.
No one should have gotten paid for Thor: Dark World. We're just saying that off the bat. Nobody should have gotten paid for that movie. They should have all just taken their pile of dirt and their free lunch vouchers and gone home.
I think Thor 2 is better than the first one.
Yeah. Well, but
no, I
Uh,
love the first
no
Thor. Kenneth Branagh went so fucking like
they
matches
put
the
Dutch
universe type
angles
shit.
in it.
Dutch angles, Malcolm. Dutch
Dutch
angles.
Too many. Too many.
Never
I
enough.
watched Thor pretty late in the game, and I kept looking over, and I'm like, why isn't he funny? Like, I was like, wait, something did they explain what happens between the first two movies that like explains why he suddenly got a good sense of humor? Like he's like a girl that got hot over summer vacation or something. I'm like,
he
why?
really was like he went to summer camp and he came back and he took his glasses
Yeah.
off and let his hair down.
That's basically what it was, but for personality, which
Yeah.
is the girl version of hot. You understand?
All right, Alex, what else do we have on the
All right,
docket today?
Let's see if this works. J.K. Simmons is coming back to Batgirl, coming back to the DCEU. Question mark if it's DCEU? Who the hell knows? He's going to be in the Batgirl movie on HBO Max, playing Commissioner Gordon. Ben, what do you think about this? Do you think he'll actually be the father of Leslie Grace's Batgirl? What's her Barbara Gordon?
I don't know. I think it could be interesting. Like, you know, we just had Fantastic Four with I know his name, but I can't think of it. Like Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan was son and daughter to the guy from The Mask.
The Mask? What do you mean The Mask?
He's in The Mask and House
he
of
in The Mask?
Cards.
He's
No,
what?
what's his name?
He's
Someone
in-
tell me in chat. Someone tell me in chat.
Wait, he's in The Mask, like the Jim Carrey movie?
He's in the Jim Carrey movie.
So he's
Is
in
he?
Mask.
No.
Oh,
No,
Reggie
Kathy.
Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah, like so that he was Kate Mara's father in that one. So I'd be fine with an adopted father, or if J.K. Simmons' wife is black.
Oh, it's
Fine with
definitely
that.
his wife is black. He's definitely that his wife was black. I mean, J.K. Simmons, that's what it is. He
Yeah,
didn't adopt her.
But also, I don't know if I want J.K. Simmons in this because he can just beat all the ass. Like, have you seen his workout photos? They're terrifying. They're fucking terrifying.
Between Invincible and there's something else recently where he was, I feel like I saw him in something like as an animated guy, like very recently, that was not Invincible, where he was also like an angry daddy type, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can unsee Invincible. Like, I don't know if I can unsee Invincible in the character that he was in that, and just be like, now he's a loving dad. Like, I'll never be able to see after Whiplash and Invincible. I don't think I can ever see J.K. Simmons and be like, he loves his children.
As long as there's like a moment where he just goes up to Barbara going, think, Barbara, think.
Yeah.
Does that
He
mean
throws a symbol at her head. Well, here's the thing. Hot take. I don't think J.K. Simmons should have been paid for the prior Batman movie. He was in it for like 2 seconds. Like, that dude didn't even show up. Like, I'm sorry, he doesn't deserve money for that. He can get his MCU money, and that's okay. But he doesn't deserve his Batman money.
I think nobody should just get paid
money.
anytime.
Fuck him.
Exactly.
He's got money from
Yeah.
Oz. Come on.
He has enough money, guys. He's already in the MCU. He has enough money. He doesn't need more money. He's just doing it for exposure. You know, why we all do things.
Oh my God, farmers insurance. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I know everybody's going to take me. He's got his farmers insurance money.
I know someone
Everybody
corrected
in the
me about
chat
the
come at
pause
Brett.
up and claws up thing, and it actually is pause up.
It
Because
is
somebody
pause
came at
up.
me.
That's
It's
even
pause up.
so
It's not
bad.
pause up.
Never
That's
listen
so
to the
bad.
chat.
Mandela
Somebody say
effect.
pause up. It's me, Paddington. Somebody say pause up.
Pause up, Paddington.
Pause up,
Thanks for coming in
Paddington.
there, Paddington.
But Sabrina, are you excited about JK back in the
Inappropriate
DCEU?
bisexual dude donated $20. You know what my reaction was to Mark Wahlberg saying he would have stopped 9/11? What? No.
By the way, he is officially renamed Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg. And it's a whale. Can someone draw that? Can someone in the chat who's an artist do that for free? Just draw a picture of him, Mark Wahlberg, as a whale, and
Yeah,
being
we'll
like,
drop
"Say
a
hello to your mother
contract.
for me."
We'll drop a contract with you and then not pay you.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
a
know,
gig
don't sue
economy,
us.
folks. You're doing it for exposure, just like
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and the rest of
Oh.
us.
What
Oh
are we
my
up
God,
to?
but I'm
$1,000
excited.
today, by the way, speaking of money. Guys, we're going out with a bang today. Last time
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Last time on YouTube, what's up?
No, there's
Uh,
someone
I
saying in the
like
comments I
JK.
really care about the ScarJo thing. Let me be clear, I very much do not. I just think it's really funny when people try to make these like false flag arguments and like just go into conversations in bad faith. That's what I'm passionate
Yeah.
about. Is trolling.
Yeah.
We care about blatant sexism.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
blatant sexism,
Exactly.
right?
Hey,
Yeah.
could I just go completely off topic and bring up something that really grinds my gears?
Yeah.
No, we're super into this J.K. Simmons in the DC.
What happened to Some Good News? Did they buy it to kill it? Did they buy that show with John Krasinski where we were getting good news instead of the shitty news, and then just to kill it so all we get is shitty news? That's
I don't-
something that came up in my brain.
Like I thought they were gonna rebrand it and like make it a thing where it was where like I hope those people got reimbursed for like, you know, the home videos they sent in to get sent in by John to get read by John Krasinski, and then he made like what $50 million selling
Oh.
Some Good News or something like I hope
Yeah.
he
They should
like
have
oh
just
look at
took it.
look at my
and
home
not paid him.
production, I'm gonna sell it for $50 million.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird to see Emily Blunt still asking for money for movies, considering her husband's making so much money.
Right?
Like, it's just weird that
So
she's
weird.
ever getting paid for the Jungle Cruise. Like, just don't pay her.
Didn't he only do like 10 episodes of it too, or like a really short amount of episodes?
yeah,
then
it
it
was,
got
like,
bought and
barely
it was
anything.
completely over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me mad. I want some
Maybe
good
somebody
news,
really
goddamn.
hated the show. They bought it so they could end it.
Yeah.
That's my
Maybe.
theory.
I mean, I have heard, and this is just rumors from a source that's very close to another source, but it is like a pretty close source that like John Krasinski does a lot of what he did between The Office and like now because he has a betting issue. Like he just bets a lot of money on stuff and like just kind of ran out of that Office money. So that's kind of why Jack Ryan and The Quiet Place even happened in the first place, which is good. It's just good, I think, because we got all this good Quiet Place stuff, but like bad, I guess, if you're John Krasinski and bet on too many, it's not horses, it's basketball maybe, and just bet on too much basketball. And
Well,
lost
at
all
least
your
I
Office
mean
money.
He's
good for him if
literally
he's
Howie
making-
from Uncut Gems.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna toss
yeah,
some money
he's
out of
Howie
you.
from Uncut Gems.
At least he's making Jack Ryan and Quiet Place. How long till he's making like the straight to DVD Nicolas Cage type movies
I mean,
that he got had?
Look at poor De Niro. I mean, Robert De Niro, this is one of those occasions where, look, guys, not all the time am I behind the women. Like, Robert De Niro's ex-wife has taken him, like, so to the bank that he still has to make these movies, even though he's, like, 70 plus something. He just had a court date where he was like, his lawyer was like, please don't keep having to make Robert De Niro make movies because he needs to pay his ex-wife from, like, 8 marriages ago because the settlement deal is, like, all sorts of messed up where he's basically have to make movies up until the moment he dies to pay for this divorce. Loophole. Yeah, they're like, don't make him do like The War with Grandpa or like Ugly Grandpa or Fat Grandpa.
War with Grandpa cinematic universe coming to you.
Mhm.
Fat grandpa.
He's actually going to be in the new Jackass movie too, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Is he actually?
No.
Oh, I don't know. He has to pay for that divorce. Like,
Yeah.
And like it was such a sad thing because if you read it, it's like, well, she bought like 18 different diamonds and then decided she didn't want the diamonds, so gave the diamonds away, but now she wants a different diamond. It was like that kind of thing
Oh.
where you're just like, oh man, that sucks because now he's gonna have to be in 8 more like Meet the Fokker movies. Poor man.
Wait, I missed a $200 donation from Travis Gilbert.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Oh, my
from Jack.
goodness.
Okay, yeah.
No, I
No,
thought
it
it was from
was-
Blade Hawk.
It was from
Oh.
Blade Hawk.
Oh.
It was just Travis at nighttime when he puts on a mask.
Oh, for the $200 donate. Well,
And becomes a
we're doing
vampire
$200.
that flies.
Yeah.
Did they want us to sing something? You
Yeah.
tried to make me sing.
I
Yeah.
wonder what like a
make me
gambling
sing.
addiction is like. Like it's got to be like any
What?
addiction is obviously hard, but just like a gambling addiction where you
Oh, I
can't
can tell
not
you.
bet on something.
It hurts. I'm doing it with Pokemon
Zac
live
Efron can
live
bet on
rips
it.
right now. I'm like addicted to it, and it's like it's like a joke, but it's also not a joke. I've spent probably in the thousands of dollars that I do not have on tiny pieces of plastic just because I'm addicted to the whole like I need to outbid you and I need to do this and do that, and like I make a lot of it back on the resale, but like it sucks because this wasn't part of my life like a month ago or 2 months
Yeah.
ago, and now it's like the only thing I do all day. Like
It's like-
sucks.
I
Not
know I'll
caring
never
about
have that
basketball
problem.
at all, and then buying NBA Top Shot cards all the
Yeah.
time. NFT.
I put $20 into a slot machine in Vegas. I lost it, and I've never touched one ever again.
Get
I'm
that.
going
I
to
never
Vegas
will.
for the first time in September, and I'm trying to get out of that trip because Vegas is like a cesspool for this disease right now or this virus.
Yeah.
But like, secondly, because like it's with high school friends who I love a lot, but I haven't seen in a while, and like I have a feeling I'm just gonna get to a slot machine because I've never been to Vegas. I'm gonna get to a slot machine and then just lose all the money I do not have left to lose.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right.
I want to go back to Vegas because I was up like $200 at one point, and then I wasn't. But you know,
I was
walk
supposed to
away.
be at Vegas right now, speaking of, but I had to cancel the trip because obviously pandemic reasons. And
Mhm.
just, yeah, again, Vegas is oof.
You know what?
Oh yeah,
this is
Vegas
giving
is
me
up
enough
there.
This
Vegas
is gonna
is-
give me enough. Like, my friends are really putting the hard sell on me of being like, well, you can cancel, but like, we just really want to see you. You know what? No, I'm paid for a really expensive room. Like we're about to lose the deposit if I don't cancel, and I paid for it. I'm canceling it. I'm calling the audible. It's supposed to be like September 9th or something. But
Yeah, it's
like,
my birthday.
oh really? Oh
Yeah.
I think Malcolm would agree. Change your plans. Go to Branson, Missouri.
That's right.
change the plans. They can come over to my place.
Yes.
I'm going to Virginia in September, so as long as all goes well.
And yeah, and like no big deal, but I hear that I'm going to going to New York in October because there might be some sort of Schmoedown show, and no, I'm not in it probably, but I definitely need to be there to be popular and for everyone to want to see me. So you
On
know,
Sunday?
that's the next
Like,
month
New York.
No, October.
in New
Oh, New
York. In
York?
New York.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go to New York. I